Highlighted earlier on in the bulletin at 1 o'clock, and the Director of Public Prosecutions, Keriako, Tobiko, has asked the court to reopen the case of the late university student Mercy Keino's death. The DPP claims that crucial evidence was tampered with during hearing. Mercy hit the headlines when she was mysteriously found dead after reveling with her friends in Nairobi. And now joining us is our Ian Mafula, who has been on this developing story since morning. Ian, thank you very much for joining us. It's an interesting new twist, but what kind of evidence is this that the DPP claims had been tampered with?
Well, thank you, Betty. At this hour, we do not know what exactly, what evidence the Director of Public Prosecution, Keriako Tobiko, is talking about. But what is interesting is that this is actually a new twist to a case that had been out of the public attention for quite a while. And so this new twist could actually probably lead the case closer towards actually finding the truth. Because remember, family and friends and also members of the public are wondering how a student could just be found killed, because at the time, back in 2012, all evidence surrounding the case pointed out that Mercy Keino was actually murdered. And so up to this point, it's still a mystery how just someone was murdered. But just to recap for those who had not been following this particular story, Mercy Keino was a student from the University of Nairobi, and on one of the weekends she was out with her friends, and in fact it is reported that she was at Wasini Place at Westlands, where she was having fun with her friends. And allegations to this night and point that William Kabogo, who was a then Juja Member of Parliament, is said to have been with Mercy and her friends at this particular place. But what we are not sure is what transpired, because a few hours later, after reports show that Mercy got into a confrontation with the Member of Parliament, she walked out of the venue and she was found dead at Wayakiwe. Now, initial reports had actually cited that Mercy might have died as a result of a hit-and-run situation, but further investigations revealed that Mercy might have been killed at a different location, and then her body was taken to Nairobi's Wayakiwe, and that is when she was found. So quite a mysterious death there. And what also came up was that the Member of Parliament, William Kabogo, alongside his driver and his aides, their names actually came up a number of times during the hearing of this case, but the Member of Parliament then Kabogo denied allegations that he was linked towards that murder. So, Betty, we are waiting to see how this case will turn out. We're also very curious to know what kind of evidence that the Director of Public Prosecutions, Keriako Tobiko, is saying might have been tampered with. We shall, of course, keep you updated on this development.
Ian, just before I let you go, what is next? Because some of these high-profile, so to speak, cases just, vanish, from the public eye, just the way it had vanished from, the public's attention. Do we know what's going to happen in the next coming days?
Well, Betty, that's the thing. The buck actually stops with various institutions that have been tasked with dealing with cases such as corruption, and even such case like a murder, because questions are rising as to what is people largely refer to as the law is a bit selective when it comes to dealing with, quote-unquote, the big fish, only being very strict on the small fish. It is not the very first time that we have seen a case that is linked to a high-profile leader in the country where evidence is either distorted or the case is just dropped out like that. And just another case that we have seen that would corroborate with this narrative include corruption cases and also hate speech cases, where the National Cohesion and Integration Commission has also been termed as a toothless dog. Not just that commission, but we've also had the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. So this is a thing that is a matter of great concern, Betty, and of course the public is always questioning why these institutions seem to be selective when it comes to dealing with justice, and when high-profile government officials are linked to that.
Right. Thank you very much, Ian Wafula, joining us from our City Center studio, just bringing us up to speed with the recent developments in the Mercy Keino case. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Keriako Tobiko, has ordered the court to reopen the case of her death. We will be following up on the developments of that story.